Before you buy any property, there are three major documents you must receive from every developer you buy a property from. Number one is the contract of sale. This is a document that clearly shows the details of the financial transaction that was transpired between you and the developer. Now, a lot of people come into this space whereby they buy a property and they don't get proper documentation. You only get a receipt of acknowledgement of the payment. No, it doesn't stop there. You have to ensure that there is a contract of sales that shows a transaction that happened between you and the developer. That is, the property was transferred from the developer to you. Secondly, is the deed of assignment. This is one of the most important documents. This is a legal document that transfers ownership from the seller to you, who is the buyer, from the developer in the case of you're buying from an estate developer, whoever you're buying from. You have to ensure that you have a deed of assignment. It shows that you have been assigned that property to become your own, right? Without a property executed deed of assignment, it's your ownership is not complete, right? That shows the transference of actual ownership. So if it's a piece of land you bought in that property of 500 square meter, you have to show in the deed of assignment that you are the one who purchased it, they were the one who sold it to you, and then this deed shows that you are the assignee, right? That is the third document that you must have in purchase of a document, especially from developer, is a survey or exact allocation, the plot beacon. Now, there are different scenarios to date. To this, there are scenarios whereby you are giving your allocation letter with the exact plot number and the beacon. This is very, very important so that when the allocation begins, you know exactly the coordinate, the point of your land, clearly stated out. Any estate that is being sold to you and does not have a plan, does not have a clear plan, is probably they're just selling air to you, and the developer has to be clear to you that okay, we are probably not allocated physically yet, we are doing site clearing, we are doing this, but rest assured that this is where your plot is, this is the plot number, this is your beacon number. That way it's clear to you that you have an allocation, a survey allocation of that property. Now, there are two scenarios of you purchasing a property. You can purchase a property from a direct buyer, probably the government, or you can purchase a property from a developer. When you're purchasing a property from a developer, the aforementioned applies to you. When you're purchasing from the government, it's very, very important that you trace the source of purchase. Are you getting a direct allocation from the government, or are you getting allocation from someone who has been directly allocated by the government? And there must be a proof of, if someone is selling a property to you, the person must be in a position to sell that property to you. There must be a power of attorney showing transference of ownership, showing the transaction, and then that person has given the right to sell the property to you by the original assignee from the government. Just in case the person selling to you is probably the son or the daughter or the agent or someone else that is not the direct assignee, the direct assignee must sign a letter consenting that you have given this person the permission to sign on his behalf to sell this property to you. I hope this has helped you well. This is a bonus tip. Work with a verified realtor, a professional realtor like Bernard Realty Realtors, or work with a lawyer, not just any lawyer. Not every lawyer are lawyers don't come for me, but not every lawyers are well aware of land matters. You need to work with a land lawyer. These are lawyers who are professionally trained themselves to be acquainted with all land use acts, know the processes. If you're in Abuja, for example, you must be aware of FCTA, you must be aware of AGIS, right? You must be aware of FCDA, you must be aware of the development control authorities. A lawyer should be able to discern what document is original. The lawyer should be able to help you to make your search, because Abuja is very organized and every land must be registered. If not registered, it's a risk, right? So work with qualified property lawyers. property lawyers, right? And I hope this tip has helped you to gain insights into property. But here's something very important that you should know. Let me read it out for you. Always verify the land title, especially when you're buying from a developer. You want to be sure that this person has a ROO, that is the right of occupancy, or has a CFO, which is a certificate of occupancy, right? So you want to ensure that the property has either of these two development documents, or sometimes some of them don't have either. They have the survey, and which they will use to register the land. They must have those documents in place. The least form of document you can get is the government consent, which is shaky. The government can decide to change their mind, but most securely, the property you're buying from the developer, if in Abuja, for example, can go and the developer can give you the file number, and you can go to Aegis and make a legal search on that file number, and they'll bring out the file and show you that this is the actual owner. They will see the land history can be shown to you and all of those stuff. So that way, when you're purchasing, you are rest assured that what you're purchasing is legit. I hope with this few points of mine, I'll be able to pass something valuable to you today to help you make that land decision the right way. Thank you. My name is Emmanuel. My name remains Emmanuel Adeyemi. I'm the MD at Benarity Limited. See you on the next one.